My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for the Voyeurs. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not entirely sure. I have a speech impediment. Yes, that's my excuse for everything. But I was actually looking forward to this movie. I heard it was an erotic thriller, and I'm just like, that's a genre we haven't seen much of in a very long time. It was huge in the 90s with movies like The House That Walks the Cradle, Indecent Proposal, and my personal favorite, Basic Instinct. And I'm just like, okay, let's see what they do with this genre. And unfortunately, this movie is a complete mess. Just every single aspect of this movie completely fell flat. That by the end, I don't even know what they were going for. This movie is so highly melodramatic, and I don't mind melodrama. It makes for some very entertaining stuff. But this movie takes itself so seriously that despite all the terrible dialogue and just how over the top everyone acts, they treat this movie like it's the next Gone Girl, and it's just like, no, you're nowhere near that quality. Like, there are moments that I think I was supposed to be like, oh my god, at, but instead I was just, I was laughing. I thought it was the stupidest stuff ever. It's just absurd. And if this movie leaned into the melodrama and everyone acted over the top and the movie itself was really goofy and silly and they just leaned into it, I thought this movie could have been a fun time, but unfortunately, they do take themselves too seriously to the point where I couldn't get any enjoyment from it. Sweeney is the lead in this movie, and she's not very good. She plays Cassie in Euphoria, and it's quite clear that she's playing one type of character, and I think there's potential for more, but she just isn't very convincing in these type of roles. Just nothing about her character feels genuine. Justice Smith is in this movie, who I've never liked as an actor. I thought he was bad in Paper Towns. I thought he was annoying in Detective Pikachu. I thought he was bad in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. He's just an actor that has never impressed me, and that's still the case here. And what happened to his voice? Like, maybe he sounds like this in all of his other movies, but as soon as he talked, his voice is just so deep, and I'm just like, whoa. I don't remember him sounding like that. It just took me out of it. Ben Hardy and the other main actress in this movie, who I guess I won't look up, weren't really good either. Just no one in this movie does a good job. No one seems self-aware of the type of movie this is. So it's just two very different tones that are just clashing with each other, and it just doesn't work. And I never cared for the main romance between the two leads. I just thought there was zero chemistry between the two of them, and the guy was a dick. Like... he acts like he's so superior to her every time he's on screen, and I'm just like, man, I can't stand this guy. So I really didn't care for the main emotional core of the movie. And like, this movie starts off, and it's kind of like Rear Window meets 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm just like, okay, let's see where they take this. And then it takes a while for me to even gain a sense of what the story is, and then I'm just like, okay, this is the story? This is pretty dumb. Like, it's trying to raise all these moral questions, but it doesn't really explore them in any interesting ways. And then we just get to a point where there's a bunch of twists and turns, and to the movie's credit, I didn't see them coming, because I didn't think this movie would go that stupid, but they did. Every new twist is dumber than the last, and just none of them are as smart or clever as the movie thinks they are, and the ending is just completely unsatisfying. For a moment there, I was just like, oh, how much longer is left in this movie? Like, are they going to go really dark all of a sudden? And I was kind of intrigued to see where it goes. And then the movie just ends, and I'm just like, really? That's it? That's a bad ending. And there's just two other really stupid things I want to mention. First of all, her name is Peppa, and no offense to anyone named Peppa, but... isn't Peppa the name of that pig in that kids show, Peppa Pig? And I don't know, every time someone said her name like Peppa, I just thought of that British pig, Peppa Pig. Yeah. And then there's a point where the guy, the douchey boyfriend, is just like, hey, want to hear a cool science lesson? If you reflect a light into their room and it bounces back, you can hear what they say. And then they have to sneak in and put a mirror behind something so then the light can bounce back. And I just felt like the filmmakers looked some stuff up and they were like, did you know that this is how light works? And everyone's just like, what? We gotta put that into the movie. Well, what you got in the script? Well, we got that they put a bug in the apartment. And they're like, no, scratch that. We're going to do this little science lesson in it. It just, I don't know why they chose to do it like that. If I have to say a positive of this movie, it's that it's very well shot. There's a few shots and I'm just like, Okay, movie, that's impressive. But every other element of this movie just completely fell flat for me. I just think it's such an absurdly stupid movie at the start, and it gets so much dumber and stupider as the movie progresses to the point where by the end you're just like, what did I just watch? And not in a good way. It's just a complete mess. There's no clear point. There's no clear ideas it wants to explore. And just, I'm not even kidding you. Some of these twists are just, oh my goodness. Just no good. The performances are really bad. I never cared for any of the characters. The movie's overlong. It just did nothing for me. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Voyeurs a 2 out of 10. Okay, did you watch this movie in your neighbor's apartment from across the street? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.